Hi guys, Chef John here. I was invited to participate in a soup and chili cook-off in a couple of weeks. So I put a post on social media asking if I should bring something new, maybe one of the old Jerry's favorites or one of the newer soups that I've made for Manhattans, and had a bunch of people encourage me online that I should come up with something completely new and different, at least something I've never done before. So I obliged. I get a text from my sister within a couple hours of that, and this is the sister that will send me random texts that says, "Hey, I just had soup at so-and-so, and you should try to recreate this." And I try to do that from a text message a lot of times. So she sent me a text message that evening and said, "Hey, get this. You should try to do a chicken cordon bleu soup." Like, that sounds pretty interesting to me, so we're going to give it a shot. I thought it would be fun to bring you all along into the kitchen as I develop a brand new recipe. We'll see how it goes, see how it turns out. You get to see everything I do. Win, lose, or draw, succeed or fail, you guys are going to see it. So we're going to head to the kitchen here and come on along with me. We'll have some fun. So we've made it to the back kitchen here where I do a lot of my recipe development. And step one is gathering up all the ingredients and tools that I need. Got the Swiss cheese, the breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese, some chopped ham there, chicken tenders, a little bit of white wine. I got some cream and some chicken broth that I made earlier in the week. We're going to use that today up. So here we go. We're going to start with cooking up our chicken tenders here. Gonna bake them off. Got a little butter in the bottom of the pan to keep them from sticking. Give them a little toss there. Get them nice and coated. We're gonna season them up. A little SPG because of TikBook and Facebook or TikTok. We can't call it salt, pepper, and garlic anymore. All the hip chefs call it SPG. So that's what we're going to do here. Pop that into our convection oven for 20 minutes or so till we get her nice and cooked. We're going to start with melting a little bit of butter. While that's starting, we're going to chop some onion, get the rest of our next few ingredients ready. Next, we're going to dice up an onion. It's going to be the base. The first ingredients we start with is always onion. We're just going to sweat those out a little bit before we put the flour in to make a roux. So now that we got some flavor going in the margarine here, we're going to add a little bit of flour to make our roux. It's going to be a creamy soup, so we're going to need a thickener. Now that we got the flour incorporated, we're going to let that cook for just a minute or two until it gets nice and nutty smelling. It'll almost smell like buttered popcorn when it's ready for the liquid in there. I'm going to add some of my chicken stock. And add my cream in next. We're gonna keep that flame on nice and low so we don't scorch the soup. Keep it stirred up, and we're gonna let that come to a boil. It should thicken up here shortly. So while we got our chicken cooking in the oven, sauce ports going on the stove, we're going to make a little breadcrumb mixture here. We're going to toast this off. Being that a chicken cordon bleu is typically a breaded dish, we need something a little crunchy to add that texture in there. So I got a little mixture of Parmesan cheese and breadcrumbs. We're going to toss these in, toss this with a little butter. We're going to toast this off in the oven. Probably have to stir it 3 or 4 times to get them browned out evenly. You'll see what that looks like in just a second here. Okay, we got our chicken about halfway cooked. We're going to give it a flip, maybe re-season the bottom side. We don't want any one-sided tasting chicken that we're working with today. So you can see our chicken has reached proper cooking temperature, 165 or above. We're going to let that cool down for just a couple of minutes so my hands can handle it. We're going to chop it up. We're going to add that to the soup in just a few minutes. So as maybe you can see, we're starting to get some thickness to our soup, some texture to it. So it's time to start adding the flavors. I'm going to start with a little bit of white wine. Once again, I'm going to reserve a little bit back because it's easier to add in than it is to take out. A little bit of salt. Restaurant grind black pepper. A little bit of granulated garlic. I don't prefer garlic salt. Don't really like fresh garlic in what I'm doing for this particular dish. Add our Swiss cheese. I'm going to stop there. Add a little bit of Parmesan cheese. And I anticipate this is going to be thickened a little too thick for what I want, so we'll probably have to add some more liquid back to it. And this is a soup. We're going to go ahead and add both these back in there. And we're getting pretty close, getting sloppy there. Pretty close to what I'm looking for. Add in our ground hair, chopped ham. I've run this in the food processor just to get it where it's not going to be chewy, or I don't even want it bite-sized. I just want it there as a texture and flavor. Kind of eyeballing it at this point in time, what I think is going to be the right amount. Chicken's cooled down where I can handle it now. We're going to dice that up into less than bite-sized pieces. So it's time to take a look at our breadcrumbs. They've been toasting. Oh, they look good. They look good. I'm gonna set them aside for right now. So while I got my sauce portion cooking, the chicken cooking, the breadcrumbs in the oven toasting, let's talk a little bit about what I did to prepare for this. Once again, I said I gathered all my ingredients. You'll see that I have these cheap little butcher boats. I keep them on hand for when I'm gathering up my ingredients. What I do before I get started is I weigh everything out, so I know what I've started with. That way I can take out any certain amount, make any adjustments, and then just go back and re-weigh everything at the end. Helps with keeping track of how I'm doing things. One of the other things I do keep is pad and paper close by, so I can track everything that I've done. Another thing you may notice that I did not put 100% of all my liquid in right off the bat. I always reserve just a little bit back in case my sauce doesn't thicken as much as I'd like, or I can make that adjustment at the end. I add that in. It's easier to add a little broth in than it is to try to re-thicken it at the end. So we're going to check on some things here. We'll be back in just a minute. So it's time to add the final piece to the puzzle here. We're going to fold in our chicken. Get this out of the way. Get the right amount in there. I'm just looking for proportion at this point in time. Like I said, we'll go back and after we're done and make all the adjustments and tastings and everything, we'll readjust, or we'll track all of the amounts of everything, the ingredient list. Go back, make sure we got the proper weights and measures, so we can reduplicate or duplicate this at another time. Once I'm done, we'll get the final numbers and everything. I'll take it back into the office and scale it up or down. Down for a home-sized portion. This is we're going to make almost 1.5 gallons of soup at this point in time. It's kind of the only way I know how to cook and experiment at this time. To sell it on to make it for the line, to sell on our average day, we're going to need probably 4 to 5 gallons of soup. So I'd have to scale this up at least 3 times to make sure we have the proportions and everything correct, so that we don't have too much salt, too much pepper, whatever. So we're going to give it a taste, see how it tastes. Well, I think it's pretty good right off the bat. I'm almost afraid to add anything to it or subtract anything away from it. So I'll show you the presentation that I have in mind for it for the competition that we're going to be doing. I'll take it out front, see if I can get maybe 1 or 2 of my employees to taste it on camera and see what their reaction is. So because breading is an important part of the chicken cordon bleu, I believe, and hey, breading makes everything better. What we've done is take our toasted breadcrumbs, Parmesan cheese. My big hand's probably in the way, you can't see what I'm doing, but we're gonna sprinkle the breading right on top so you get the full cordon bleu experience. We're going to take it out to a couple people and see how they like it. This is Dorothy. She's our cashier, been with us over 35 years. She's pretty honest with me. She knows what's good and what's not. She also knows how to keep her job. I'm just kidding.
It is good.
Pretty good?
Yeah.
Take that to contest just the way it is?
I would. I think it's marvelous.
All right.
I mean, seriously.
Thank you. We're going to go on to the next person. Brittany Winnebar. She's been with us a couple of years. She's known the family forever.
Oh, yeah. It's really good.
Should we go to contest with this, or do I need to make an adjustment?
Less salt. But
Less
yeah.
salt. I thought it had, yeah, maybe a hair too much salt.
I like it. Less salt, but other than that's really good.
Number 3.
Oh wow, that is good. Oh, that's good.
The best part of me getting to play back in the kitchen is I get to make this guy over here clean up after me. So that's what the creative process looks like around here, at least the way I do it. Appreciate everybody watching. If you don't mind, give me a like, share, thumbs up, whatever it takes to keep me help keep me relevant in today's world. Thank you very much.